Howdy, 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 and welcome to the Red Dirt Aggie Show. My name is Brian, aka the Red Dirt Aggie, and I'm thrilled to be here bringing you another episode of our podcast, the Red Dirt Aggie Show. And if you can't tell, we got a microphone. Ain't that cool? And that's what we're celebrating. We got an interface, we got special effects, we got the works. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that here on our microphone. But special thanks to our incredible sponsor. And let's give them a round of applause. They're the reason that we have all these great things now. And after we had issues getting our other equipment, they sent us set up and realized it wouldn't work out. They willingly sent us some different stuff. And what more can you ask for in a sponsor than to be supportive like that, to be with us from the very beginning? And another thing you notice if you're watching on video is I have sunglasses on. And that's something that I kind of needed to do today. My eyes are just really tired. And I'm tired of looking at the screen. It's bright in here. And with my allergies going on and everything, I don't want to see my eyes blinking and looking puffy in the video. So put on some glasses. Thought I might make it look a little better. So if you ever see me wearing glasses in future videos, that's why. But they're pretty cool glasses. They're A&M glasses. And maybe I'll get some blue light ones or something, and that'll be more useful in the future. But special thanks to Heritage Pools hooking us up with the equipment. If you're anywhere in the greater Houston, Texas area, please give them a call at 281-896-5061. All your swimming pool needs. They can transform your backyard into an oasis. They'll make any repair you might need on your pool. They'll remodel it. They'll replaster it. They'll inspect it. They'll clean it. Whatever you need, they can do it. 281-896-5061. Give them a call because they do it all. Tell them we sent you. And I want to start tonight off with big news out of the country music scene as Granger Smith, fighting Texas Aggie Granger Smith, famous for his We Believe Maroon song, his ode to his alma mater, he announced that he's leaving country music to pursue a career in ministry. And he has spent the last 24 years involved in this country music business, but recently he announced that his Like a River tour will be his last. His tour, of course, was named in honor of his 3-year-old son named River, who passed away back in 2019 in a tragic drowning accident. And he released a post on social media stating he's felt a strong desire to pursue ministry, and that it doesn't mean he's going to start a church or a crusade, but more that it is a time of learning and growing for him. Smith is actually working towards a master's degree currently at Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. And in a People magazine interview, he stated the following: "Being a musician was never a prison, but this is a new passion, a new focus, and a new direction that I believe is going to allow me to focus more on individual people and their lives, which is ultimately why I started music touring in the very beginning." He explained, "This is an even more micro-focused position in that, and I'm not going anywhere." So he's still going to be there. He's still going to be on social media. He's still, very much there. And I think it's admirable what Granger is doing. He's doing what he believes is right for him. He wants to learn individual stories, as he said before, and he wants to make a difference. And that's why he started music in the first place. And now he's found a new, more powerful way to learn the stories of individuals, to tell the stories of individuals, and to help them. And he can do it through his church. So what better thing than that? Other exciting news in the music scene, even more specifically with artists who we've had here on the show, Donnie Van Slee, whose hat I'm currently rocking. For those of you listening on podcast who can't see me, he's had some great new releases since our interview with him. My favorite recent one that come out has been the song Until Then. It's a banger. Go listen to it. If you missed our episode featuring him, go back and listen on podcast. He had a really neat perspective being a musician over in Nashville, which is something we don't talk about a lot on this show, being a Red Dirt music show. But his sound is very similar, so that was why we had him on, and it was interesting hearing how things work over there for sure. And great guy. He's actually a chiropractor too. Fun fact. He's a chiropractor and a musician, originally from Florida. So, and he talks a lot about that in the interview that we had with him in the past. Hayden Baker released a couple of awesome songs too. He had Just Talkin', which he made reference to in our interview, and another song he made reference to in our interview about his grandpa who passed away, and that one's entitled If I Get There Before You. And the backstory of that song was so powerful. He wrote it a day or two before his grandpa passed. He actually performed it at his funeral. And that's just a beautiful song and a lot of emotion in it, of course, with something like that. So if you get the chance, definitely check that one out. Check out all of Hayden's music. That dude's going places. He's hanging around the right guys. He's an incredibly talented guitar player and musician as well. So you definitely check those out. Of course, our very first guest, Rich O'Toole. Love him. He's a great dude. Dropped a new banger recently called Texas Is My Home. All in his unique fashion, of course. He's mentioned a Whataburger, tacos, all in the same song. You know it's going to be a banger from Mr. Hashtag Team Beans and Chili, or Hashtag Team Beans for short. Which I am a part of that movement, by the way. Hashtag Team Beans. Beans belong in chili. Please don't cancel the Red Dirt Aggie show. But yeah, I personally think that beans should be in chili. Why not? Continuing with the discussion of our past guest, Ben Kadlashek was recently announced to be participating in the Texas Country Cruise out at Galveston again later this year. And former guest, the Weathered Souls, they announced that their new record, Till the Morning Comes, will be dropping April 20th. And I want to say I absolutely loved seeing those guys perform live. They opened up for Shane Smith and the Saints and Whiskey Myers at the Woodlands Pavilion. And there was a whole episode about that concert alone. Was phenomenal. And then getting to have them come on and talk to them as well was great for the podcast and was very entertaining. Some great guys, some great Southern rockers, I would say. And definitely looking forward to watching them continue to rise to stardom on the Texas music scene. They definitely know how to entertain a crowd, for sure. And a little bit more news from the Texas music scene on that same date of April 20th. Co Wetzel's new bar up in Fort Worth, Texas, named Co Wetzel's Riot Room. Will be having its official grand opening. Co Wetzel will be in attendance at the opening. I'm sure that will be quite the time. Other exciting releases to keep an eye out for. You got Parker McCollum's full-length album coming out in May. And recently, Parker McCollum, speaking of the dude, performed Handle on You live on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. I mean, he's absolutely everywhere now. The Limestone Kid, rising to stardom. And I got to admit, also, it's pretty cool that he signed that deal with Lucchese. You see him wearing the Lucchese hat and repping the brand frequently. And I mean, I would too. They're a great brand, great pair of boots they make for sure. But to me, it's the equivalent of an NBA player signing a major shoe deal. That's why I think it's pretty cool to me that he's repping Lucchese. So yeah, let's give him a round of applause for Parker getting him a Lucchese deal, playing on the late night shows and stuff. Pretty cool for the Limestone Kid. And now, some A&M centric news surrounding that Texas and Red Dirt music scene. Troubadour Fest coming to College Station. Where? To Aggie Park, to be exact. May 20th. The Barbecue and Texas Music Festival will feature performances from Midland, Shane Smith and the Saints, Charlie Robinson, Uncle Lucius, Treaty Oak Revival, Braxton Keith, Gracie York, and Rachel Aaron. It's sure to be a great time for Aggies to see some awesome music right in the heart of campus at the beautiful new Aggie Park in the shadow of the Football Palace Kyle Field. And none other than Kyle Field, which is where we will see this Saturday's Texas A&M spring football game. Great news for Aggie football fans. This game will not be a loss for Aggie football, which I guess we were pretty accustomed to seeing those last year, but this particular one will not be a loss. We're going to win or we're going to tie, depending on how you look at it, or what the final score may dictate. Maroon versus white, which both of them are our colors. And so it'll be interesting to see, what format they go with, if it's going to be an offense versus defense kind of thing, or if they'll actually split up and divide full teams of maroon and white. They've done a couple of different formats in the past where the defense can score points and stuff to make it more balanced. But I do know that we'll be playing it on half of a football field, most likely, due to the fact that the south end zone is currently being renovated. They're adding in some more suites for the wine and cheese crowd, or just for those A&M donors that bring in that money. But you got to have a way to fuel those NIL collectives and pay for that beautiful stadium. So, yeah. But I can't wait to see some of our new transfers that have come in and some of our recruits in action. Of course, it'll be exciting to see Connor Wyman out there again. And, Connor Wigman. But it's been reported that the game will see him as well as our new transfers in action. And once again, it's going to be on half of a field. So that will be interesting to see. And I want to take some time and talk a little bit about kind of the elephant in the room. And we'll start with the obvious, okay? We got to be better than last year. And Jimbo has to do better himself than he did last year. Texas A&M is not a program that should be missing bowl games. That's just inexcusable. I will tell you right now, if that happens this year, he's gone. He is absolutely gone. Honestly, I will be disappointed with anything less than 8 wins, really. I would be disappointed. Does he get fired if he gets 7 wins? Probably not. But anything less than 8 wins is a pretty serious disappointment to me with the talent that's been coming in. I think 8 wins is definitely reasonable. And I think really we should be shooting for average of 9 to 10 wins every year, minimum. But after last season, 8 wins is double what we got last year, roughly. So, I guess we had 5, but, who knows? All that being said, here's where I stand on the whole Fisher and Petrino situation, okay? Petrino doesn't have to completely overhaul the offense. And there doesn't have to be this massive overhaul. But does there have to be change? Yes, absolutely. There has to be change. There better be change. What we did last year as a program, it did not work. But Jimbo's offensive schemes have worked in the past. My big concern is that Petrino needs to run the offense on game day. No questions asked. He needs to be the one calling the plays on game day. Now, if Jimbo's helping to come up with some plays and Petrino's helping to come up with some plays for the playbook, sure, that's fine. Ultimately, who needs to be calling the plays, though? Petrino. On game day, Petrino needs to call the plays and run the offense. And there needs to be some adjustment, some differences as to what was run before, whether that means Petrino needs to add in all of his plays, whether that means he needs to delete some of Jimbo's plays, or some combination of the two. I don't know. It doesn't have to be drastically different. It has to be changed. And I'm not saying, throw throw everything out. I'm not saying reinvent the wheel. I'm just saying it has to be changed. We need Petrino calling plays on game day and allowing Jimbo the opportunity to manage the game. This is going to limit those fundamental errors that make huge differences in close games. This is going to prevent us from burning timeouts when we don't need to be burning timeouts. This is going to prevent us from, having to rush a snap or not being able to make pre-play adjustments because the play's coming in so late from the sideline. This is what you need. You need your coordinator calling plays, and you need Jimbo managing the game, keeping an eye on everything else, keeping everything else under control. That's what you need for success in this situation. We'll see what happens, though. And as always, gig 'em Aggies. And I'm not really sure what to say with regards to this game. Beat the hell out of practice. Beat the hell out of each other. Well, no, we can't say beat the hell out of each other. That's a recipe for disaster. That is an absolute recipe for disaster. But seems pretty negative. So, oh wait, I got it. This weekend is ring weekend, parents weekend, and there's a baseball game going on. So we can say beat the hell out of ring dunks, beat the hell out of parents weekend, and beat the hell out of Mizzou baseball. And good luck on your ring dunks if you're getting your ring this weekend. And may you do better than mine. That's a story for another day, but mine did not go so well. But that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Red Dirt Aggie Show. We have so much exciting content coming our way soon. Next Tuesday, April 18th, we'll be doing a Texas Music Tuesday interview with Garrett Smith, a fighting Texas Aggie and musician. He's got a pretty awesome music video out called Northgate Nights. We're going to link it on social media and in the description of the this YouTube episode so you can check it out and get ready for next Tuesday. I also want to, between now and Tuesday, I want to drop a Aggie baseball episode. If we get time, we're going to try to have Colin on as a guest. If any of you remember Colin from the baseball episode we did with him a little while back, he's great with the knowledge on baseball, so I wanted to wait for him to be here to do analysis on that. I did not forget baseball, I promise. They had a nice series win over Auburn over the Easter holiday, and they kick off their series today against Mizzou. So beat the hell out of Mizzou, beat the hell out of ring weekend, beat the hell out of your ring dunks, beat the hell out of parents weekend. As always, gig 'em and God bless. Thanks for listening to the Red Dirt Aggie Show. See you next time. Peace.